Everyone, welcome to the Honey Badger Seller. I'm your host, Paul Tran, and this show helps introverted salespeople unsell and outsell. If you've been following me long enough, or if you know me pretty well, you'll know that I absolutely love wordplay. One of my favorite things to do is to create or to use acronyms as a way to guide things that I do. For example, in a past podcast episode, I created this acronym for my daily routines, things that help prime me for success for the day, to gain as many wins as possible before the sun even comes up. And so after that, it's just nonstop cherries on top, which is not a bad deal. My morning routine, it was prayers, affirmations, thankfulness, reading, and also notes. Those make up a misspelled pattern, which I thought was pretty cool. Tooting my own horn there. I think I've created another one that I'm pretty proud of. At the very least, I laugh about it, and more importantly, they are actionable. And they help guide a lot of my sales conversations. And so I'll give them to you today. Hopefully they help. The first one, I have my notes here. The first one is to, of course, differentiate. Nothing new, nothing that should be mind-blowing. However, so many people are so, I don't know. I think a lot of people are nowadays, there's so much competition, and you don't get a lot of time with prospects. And you also need to, I guess, try and be as relevant as possible. But sometimes people mistake relevance for differentiation. I've mentioned this before. You can't just be better. You have to be different. If you aren't different, then you have pretty much been buried with a sea of a bunch of Me Too's, or you end up having to discount your product, or whatever it is. It's not going to lead to either a sale or a good, profitable sale. So spend time to, again, back to your roots, focus on what sets you apart as a company, as a product offering, and yourself. So for example, I just finished consulting for a startup company, and one of their biggest fears was, man, we're playing in a space that's dominated by all these big guys. And it's funny because most people do startups because they found a gap in the marketplace that the big guys aren't doing. And so their sales mindset was very different from their startup mindset, which is crazy, but it happens so much. I remind them, that past results are no indication of future results. Also, the faster and faster technology and innovation and competition kick in, the less relevant legacy, tradition, 40 years of experience or 100 years of experience matter. And I also remind them, and I tell you this story all the time, and it's incredible sales talking point. But for example, Airbnb was not started by hospitality executives, nor was Uber started by someone that was in the transportation business. They were just consumers frustrated, and obviously they weren't the only consumers that were frustrated. People are looking for extra income always, the old guys just couldn't deliver, or at least could deliver this niche that was being underserved. And that is what startups is all about. So again, that's a differentiation. I also tell people, when companies tell me, oh, we're the most authentic this, or we're the cheapest that, or we're whatever that is, when I hear that, it's a big red flag, because in the absence of value, price is all you have left. And that means it's going to be a race to the bottom where it's just a not profitable situation for anyone. And someone will always out-authenticize you, and someone will always outprice you. You've got to do something different. You got to make them think, that's different. Tell me more. Or what? You sound like you've built this product just for me and my unique situation. Like you want the customer to feel like you've been made just for them. Soulmates. So differentiate. The next one is to guide the prospect. Think of the conversation as a journey through the Amazon jungle, and that you're the guide. And I've heard this advice somewhere. I don't know where it came from. If you do know where it is, please let me know so I can give credit. But the advice was treat sales like a tour guide, not a travel agent. Travel agent is very transactional. Not much, no offense to the travel agents. There's some amazing ones that I've got to work with, but it's more transactional in nature. And a lot of times, they're just behind a wall, getting information and just spewing it back out, which is good. But again, it's not differentiation, and it's not, taking them by the hand or being side by side with the customer and leading them through. Imagine like you're going through the Amazon jungle, and they can either try and do it themselves and take forever trying to prepare to take action, risk getting in trouble or getting lost or getting eaten alive by animals, and you may not even never make it, or you'll make it out battered and beaten, and so much time has been wasted, and their main business has suffered because of lack of focus. Or you could tell them, you could just say, hey, here's the map. You can either do it yourself, like don't hold anything back. Share all the details of what it's like to adopt the product and to succeed with it, and let them know, hey, you're welcome to do this, but the value that I provide is I get to walk you through it. I bring all the tools and preparation. I bring the machete. I cut through the wilderness. I show you how to use this, that, and I teach you things along the way and delight you and equip you and make you smarter and stronger. And then I get you through to the end. And you could use, it doesn't have to be a dangerous journey like the Amazon. It could be as delightful as Disneyland. Sit down and map out what it's like to go to Disneyland as a perfect day. You have all the, you come early, you get the best parking, you have an annual pass, upsell the annual pass. You go through the ticketing experience where people are treated nicely. You have them get ready for grab a map. You lead them to, the places where you can get the fast pass. You show them where all the best churro spots are. You show them, which lines have the least amount of people that they can enjoy right now, and map it out. And at the end of the day, it's a success. So again, guide the prospect. The next thing is to add the customer into the sales process. So many times people forget that this journey is a contact sport. It's not a spectator sport. And not only that, there are two problems that I see very often in the sales conversation. Number one, the salesperson asks too many qualifying questions up front, making the conversation feel like an interrogation. And it's where customers give up so much data before any value is being exchanged. And number two, they throw up on the customer, trying to fit in as many benefits and value as they can. I found it most effective when I ask a question that they didn't think of from me, having them think differently, show that I care. And I also ask questions, and then I respond back with some kind of talking point that helps them know immediately right then and there, that regarding that answer, we have a case study where another customer did this and we helped them with that. And then you ask another question and you answer with another thing that you've been able to, one little benefit that helps them understand that, hey, whatever answer you just gave me, just know that it's actually not in vain. It's not a waste of time. This is how we help them. And number one, they're going to get value very early on in micro doses where they aren't, they don't have indigestion or constipation, and they'll actually be more willing to share even more information because it's like a reward system. If they feel like they're getting value right away, they're going to want to volunteer even more information than they would have had you just asked a bunch of questions and didn't give them any value up front. So that works. That has so many different benefits. This way, and the last final advice is to forward next steps. Always, whatever you do, be intentional about it. Everything you say should be giving value and giving them a reason to give the next answer or to take the next step. You might not be able to close a deal right on the first conversation. And in fact, one call closes scare me because just as fast as they move forward excitedly, as fast as they can actually back away from being, moving way too fast. But anyway, back to the main point. You'll always try to forward next steps, meaning always be closing something. It could be closing like, hey, thank you so much for your time. I think it's best that we have a call with the rest of your decision makers, or I think it's best that you need to check this out. Like, can we set up a demo for the next few days? Or the next step is to, I need to visit your business just to make sure that that this product or service can truly help you. Can we do that? Or I think it's the smartest thing that. But rather than make a big investment ahead of time without knowing whether it's going to work, I suggest we try and test drive this. There's a 30-day trial, or we can install this for free. And if you don't like it, the other alternative is always waiting on the other side. Whatever it is, it can be as tiny as, hey, can you send me an email with this information? Always be asking for the next step. Always let the customer feel like there's forward motion. There's not a waste of time. Not only that, you're bringing it closer and closer. You're digging your hooks into the customer's needs and wants, and getting you closer to the deal and setting you further away from the competition and wadding on the surface. So if you didn't notice by now, differentiate, guide, add the customer to the process, and forward next step stands for DGAF. DGAF. So I hope this helps. Please, I usually like to keep it friendly, family friendly and clean. It is, but just dancing around a little bit of funniness. So I hope this helps, guys. As always, if you did get value, please let me know. I'd love to know if I can help you in any way on any of your pitches or your sales conversations. I also hope that you're subscribing to the Honey Badger Seller at honeybadgerseller.com. And also, equally as important, if you do love the show, please leave a review on Apple Podcasts, or leave a comment on the YouTube part of the show. I always welcome feedback. I always want to find out questions that you might have, maybe some encouragement to keep this going. Whatever it is, just let's have a dialogue, and let me feel like I'm talking to a wall. That's it, guys. Take care. Bye-bye.